Hello, love. It's me, Fissure. Brian Fitzpatrick, whatever you want to call me. It's me. Directly off of work. As you can tell by the misshapen whatever the hell this is going on, my camera is acting really kind of messed up, so I apologize. We're going to have to deal with it for now. But I am sitting at the computer. I did a video the other day on what I was watching, and I figured for a small change of pace, I will do a video on what I'm reading, because if you know me, which I hope that you do, you know that I read lots and lots and lots of manga and manhwas and pretty much whatever I can get my hands on. It's the only thing that really keeps me sane in most cases at work. I have music now, which is fantastic. It allows my mind to preoccupy itself instead of arguing with invisible people that I would like to argue with personally, but I can't. So, I figured that if you are like me and you absolutely like anime and manga and anything along those lines, you would like a little bit of this list. And I'll tell a little bit about all of these, so you might be interested in. Of course, you will have to find out how to read them on your own. A lot of them you can buy, a lot of them you can find online, a lot of them you can, subscribe to little webtoon apps and so on and so forth. And at the very end, if you would like, leave a comment about something that you would like to read or like to share with me. Read, watch, music, whatever. It would be nice to communicate in the best way possible that we're allowed anyway. So, I'd like to start off by saying that I have been reading up on a manga called Jujutsu Kaisen. A lot of people are calling it the shonen of the now. They're wanting it to be the Naruto, Boruto sort of killer for most shonen mangas. Basically, it is about shamans and curses and everything else, and about a guy who basically has overnatural talent for athletics, but he really doesn't want to do anything. And he finds a cursed object. An object that causes curses to just appear around it. And gives it to his high school's occult club. Because, in Japan, they have a club for just about everything. And on that day, his grandfather, who took care of him, died. On his deathbed, his grandfather basically told him, "You are capable of so many things, but the best thing that you should be able to do is save people. As many people as you can." So he takes that really kind of to heart and uses his abilities to save as many people as possible while dealing with the aftermath of finding that cursed item. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but it is very well done. The art is fantastic. If you like creature effects and everything else, I would say you might like this one. I have talked about this other one for a little while. If you have not read it, it is a Korean manhwa, a webtoon, basically where a lot of the Korean webtoons are up to down instead of comic style. So when you read, it's meant to be read on cell phones and tablets and other mobile devices. But it is called Solo Leveling. It is probably one of the greatest manhwas, webtoons, whatever you would like to call it, from Korea that I have read up to this point. The art style, the story, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's, like all the rage right now in a lot of manga and manhwa is the alternate reality sort of storylines where there's lots of fantasy and magic and everything else. Well, in this one, basically, all these portals open up and out comes popping monsters and stuff. And in that, people start reawakening special abilities that correspond with a class, you know. And the main character is like the lowest class ability, but he's trying to save up money to um, cure his mother, which is in a coma, because the people who don't reawaken abilities just fall into a coma. On one of his very last missions, he dies, but in a way where he saves everybody else, as many people as he could anyway, and he's garnered a revival with abilities far beyond anyone else. So he's able to actually keep leveling up his abilities way past everybody else. Very well done. Absolutely fantastic. Another one I've been reading is Chinese. I don't know what you would call them, but the Chinese comic called The Last Human. It's a zombie comic where this guy was basically by himself at the end of the world, filled with zombies, no one around, and he dies. And then magically wakes up in his younger self, still in high school, before the zombie apocalypse, with all the knowledge that he had had beforehand. And it's him trying to save as many people as possible while also trying to find the woman that he fell in love with in the previous life. I like it. It's very well done. The artwork's really good. Just something to kind of the change in the tone from some of the other ones that I've been reading is very nice, and it is updated quite regularly. So I mean that's always one to really look into. Another one that I have been reading has been let's see. Of course, I've got all the basics. I got Black Clover, magic, sorcery, stuff like that. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll talk about My Hero Academia. It is one of my favorites, and one of yours too, obviously. That I've been really, really close on reading. This newest chapter that just came out is absolutely fantastic. I wish I could spoil so much for you guys, but then that would make me kind of an asshole. So I'm not going to do that. But if you have not caught up on Hero Academia, you should do that. Because it is fantastic. As well as look up the offshot that they've made. They've done a couple of little like side stories based on the world. And they have one that is absolutely fantastic, really, really good, that I've been reading, called Vigilante. It basically takes place before all the events of Hero Academy, with some of the heroes and everything else before they became heroes, before All Might started to lose his powers and everything else. And you got to meet some of the other heroes and such, which is fantastic. Let's see. I've got an entire list that I could really name off on here. There is Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer is fantastic. The art is wonderful. The story is really good, but it can be kind of hard to get through the first chapter. Uh, it it has a way of showing the weakest enemies, goblins, as some of the most heartless, evil entities in the entire world. And this main character, they call him Goblin Slayer. That's all he does is kill goblins. That's it. That's all he wants to do. Because when he was younger, goblins invaded his town and murdered everyone except for him. And so now he's out for blood all the way into his life. And it's actually very interesting to see his transformation throughout the entire thing. There is also Rising of the Shield Hero, which is probably one of my favorite isekai otherworld mangas, mainly because it takes the trope of having the hero, the main character, come over to this other world as a hero and being adored and loved, and kind of turns it on its head. You know, every hero that comes over has a specific weapon, and has the shield hero. He only has a shield, so nobody expects much of him. And everything kind of spirals out of control from there. Such a, really, really great story. A lot of these are also on Crunchyroll to watch as well, because they started making some of these into anime and stuff, which I heard that Solo Leveling has been opted by Crunchyroll to come over, and if that starts, dude, absolutely watch it. I cannot wait to see how that's going to pan out. And those are just some of the ones that I'm really kind of into. I would keep an eye out for Jujutsu Kaisen really coming into its own, kind of the way that Demon Slayer did just within the past year, which Demon Slayer exploded completely off the grid, and My Hero has kind of taken over some of the original greats out there. I don't know how long My Hero has left before they decide to do a level up. And what I mean by that is kind of how, like, Naruto went from regular Naruto to, like, Naruto Shippuden, which was, like, kind of like an offshot future, set further down the road, which hopefully My Hero will do that after this arc that's going on right now. But I guess that is entirely up to the creator. So, what are the things that you're reading? What are the things that you want to read? Would you like to know more about any of these? Just leave a comment. Let me know. I will answer as many questions as possible and share with you everything that I am. Because that's what I do. Until next time, guys.